It's been a while since we got a structured deck in Duel Links, which are often budget-friendly ways for new and returning players to get their hands on powerful new cards and create their very own decks. Does the Gagaga Xyz structure deck live up to the standards previously set by decks like the Red Eye structure deck? Let's find out. In this structure deck, there are 4.5 new cards. Caesar is a weird case because yes, he's new, but he's also in the latest bots, Shining Hope. I have no idea what that's even about. First for the new cards is Zubaba Bancho Gaga Coat, or as I'll call him from here on out, Coat Man. He's an Earth level 4 warrior monster that can special summon himself for free if you control a Zubaba or Gagaga monster, except another Coat Man, and once per turn, you can special summon a Go-Go-Go or Do-Do-Do monster from your graveyard, but then you're locked into its seed monsters for the rest of the turn. A fantastic card that facilitates its seed summoning for 4 archetypes, and even if you only run, for example, pure Gagaga, it still does a lot for the deck. If any of these 4 archetypes become meta relevant, this card will become an auto 2 or 3 of in the deck, no questions asked. Gagaga Mancer is a level 4 dart spellcaster that can special summon a Gagaga monster from the grave once per turn, and when it's detached as its seed material, you can boost any its seed monster on your field by 500 attack until the end of the turn. It's definitely not as good as Coatman since it requires setup in the grave to make it do something. Maybe running 1 is fine, but I wouldn't dream of running more than that until Gagagas get a way of filling their graves more easily. Gagaga Xyz is a level 4 Earth Warrior monster that can't attack unless you control another Gagaga monster, and also can banish a monster from your grave to set all Gagaga monsters to the level of the banished monster. Honestly, this card is really bad. The first restriction is whatever since it's just an 1800 body, but the requirement to have a monster in the grave to banish, and then also the need to have more than 1 monster on the board, including Caesar, to make its seed summoning possible, it's a lot of hoops to go through for very little payoff. For the new spell, we have Gagaga Academy Emergency Network, which lets you special summon a Gagaga monster from your deck if your opponent controls a monster and you control no monsters. I don't like this card because in Duel Links you don't get to choose whether to go first or second, so this card is absolutely useless if you're forced to go first by the coin flip. This card isn't worth running, and it's better to use the space for more monsters that can more proactively put themselves or other monsters on the board without these hindering conditions. The last new card did nothing wrong, man. He did nothing wrong whatsoever. The brand new its seed monster, Gagaga Cowboy. A rank 4 with a decent stat line that reads that by detaching a material, it gains an effect based on its current battle position. If in attack position, if Cowboy attacks an opponent's monster this turn, it gains 1000 attack. Also, the opponent's monster loses 500 attack during the damage step only. This makes it so that Cowboy is effectively a 3000 attack body, but when in defense, you can burn your opponent for 400 damage. While Cowboy for game won't happen all that often, whether you plan on playing Gagagas or not, Cowboy is a nice card to have at least one of, if not for the BM factor. Most of the reprints here are really bad, so I won't go into them, but the one I do want to talk about is Memory Loss, which reads that when a face-up attack position monster your opponent controls just activated in effect, except during the damage step, you can negate that effect, and if you do, you change that monster to face-up defense position. While definitely not as good as Phoenix Chain in most situations, for those that are just getting into the game, having a simple monster negate like Memory Loss can really help you climb on the ladder. Against some popular matchups, it can negate Merchant and Karaturis or Alistair the Invoker, if anyone still plays him. My overall thoughts on this structure deck are that if you're a new or returning player, I wouldn't really recommend this structure deck unless you really like Gagagas, or you're also planning on going through the new bots, Shining Hope. I'm going to try and bring Gagagas the COD this month, so stay tuned for the COD log whenever that comes out if you want to see my deck list. For most players, this structure deck won't be the thing that shades up the meta, so if you're saving your gems or money for something big, this isn't it. Next video will be the bots review of Shining Hope, which I've been testing for the past few days, and I'll see you in the next one.